Morning, Tucker.
All right, Vic. Same creamy.
Champion at the bit, which is more than we can say for you. Thought you weren't going to make it today.
Yeah, I waited for the postman.
Leave off. It's all those late nights you've been having.
What do you know about my late nights?
Oh, well, when Alan finally does come mooching home in the wee small hours of the morning, he might think he's being quiet, but he moves around that kitchen with all the finesse of an avalanche.
Been staying out, has he?
You mean he hasn't been with you?
Heads down.
Been with you these last few nights?
Well, yes and no.
Yes and no?
If you want to know what he's been up to, you can always ask him, you know.
Oh, yeah? The last time I saw him was on stage in that pub. I had to buy a ticket for that.
Yeah, well, he's a bit depressed about that night.
Oh, is he really? Oh, I wouldn't know.
Look, there's no mystery. Alan's been with me at my place with some of the other blokes. Tucker has been otherwise engaged in the room downstairs.
Oh, yeah? Right. And what are you lot been up to?
Oh, just sitting around. Talking.
About what?
Life.
Oh, that's what depresses me about Alan, about the lot of you. You don't seem to know what it is to be young.
Well, we ought to. We're living it.
But you're not, you're just talking about it. At this rate, it'll all be gone before you realise that...
Yeah, all what?
Oh, I don't know. That feeling of anticipation. The buzz you get before you go out of a night. The thought that you might end up with someone you never even met a few hours before. When you get to my age, Creamy, it's all gone. No variety, nothing new. Everything totally predictable.
I used to get that buzz at the start of every weekend. Out with the boys, having a couple of drinks, eyeing up the talent, taking your pick.
That's it.
Coming the end of the night, you're half cut, well skinned, everywhere shut anyway. You don't want to go home, but you've got no option. And the capital, you have definitely ended up on your own. And I can tell you, there's nothing more predictable than that.
You put him up to this.
Come again?
It's nothing to do with him.
So you say.
What's he talking about?
I asked him for some protective headgear, that's all. I mean, it is illegal to work on some jobs without it.
Don't come to barrack room lawyer with me, sonny.
He's right, though.
Look, I know you think you should be up there on that scaffold and laying these bricks, but you're not. You're down here, loading them up.
Yeah, you made sure of that.
And you've done nothing but sulk about it ever since I took you on. But I didn't think even you'd hide behind a couple of kids to stir things up.
Leave it, Mr. Humphreys.
Mr. Humphreys? Well, that's a bit grand, ain't it? His name's Vic.
But he's Mr. Humphreys to me.
Look, I don't care if he calls himself the King of Siam and wears a crown when he's at home. On this site, he's a navvy, and he gets no protective gear from me. Is that clear?
Hello, Al. It's not your sign-on day today, is it?
Nah, I've come to pick up a few brochures.
Not another cheap labour scheme. Oh, take no notice of me. I'm just trying to pluck up enough courage to go in there and sign on.
Yeah, must be old when you've had a break.
I'll have to do it, though. I need the money.
Well, you won't get fat on what they give you.
If they give it to me. I've got a lot of awkward questions to answer before I get my hands on a gyro.
Well, no time like the present.
Yeah, but I think I'll wait out here for you. I can't face it yet.
OK, lads, you can leave that. I want these sacks of cement loaded onto that board there. I don't mean in half an hour's time.
When the barra comes back.
Now!
We're not standing underneath that.
You are if I say so. Look, son, there's a job to be done here. If you kids haven't got the bottle to work on a building site, that's your lookout.
Come on, Tucker.
All right. I've just about had a belly full of you today. If your mate wants to work, do him a favour and let him. Otherwise, he'll find himself finished up, like you.
Right, mate. No. Don't say nothing. Just give us our money and we'll go.
Money? What money?
We've practically worked a full day.
Oh, look at the mess. I've got to find somebody to clear that up now.
You might have been clearing up more than a few bricks, and someone might be very interested to hear about that.
Your word against mine, son. You'll have no proof that this ever happened, or that I even employed you. Officially, you don't exist, and there's nothing you can do about it. Aye, you wouldn't dare. You so much as breathe in that car, and I'll have you nicked.
Now, with the little operation you run here, and I thought the police are the last people you want on this side. And who are you going to say has done it? After all, we don't exist.
Would you have done that?
Well, let's just say, as I lifted that brick above my head, I was saying to myself, if he don't stop me now, I'm going to look a right Bert.
So you were bluffing?
We'll never know, will we, son? Still, did the trick, though, didn't it?
Yeah. Hey, you fancy a drink?
Now I'm going to shoot home, see if there was a letter for me in the second post.
You written off for a job or something?
Well, let's just say I've made certain applications which could change the course of my whole life.
Hey, don't leave me here like that.
I might see you later on.
Tucker, you ain't half aggravating.
What's going on?
Hang on.
You phone me up and tell me to get down there as quick as I know how. I'm here and you just stomp past me without a word.
It isn't you. I just want to put the maximum distance between me and that place in the shortest possible time.
Yeah, but you've only just started your shift. You don't finish for another 6 hours. You've handed in your notice.
Close. I've been sacked.
Sacked?
That's right. It's any of your business.
It is my business if you ain't got the money for the fare.
Don't worry, you'll get paid. You might even get a tip if you stop poking your nose in.
Well, pardon me asking, but are we actually going anywhere? And it would be helpful to know.
Curious Road. So what's it all about? I don't just sack people for no reason at all.
Tommy.
Watson?
He got me the job. Now he's out of favour at Bamford's. I'm out of work.
And is that it?
Well, it's not only Tommy. Mr. Bamford said he wasn't too keen on the company I was keeping. Mentioned no names, but obviously meant you.
Yeah, well, I did rather put a kibosh on that little business venture you told me about. But I did think you'd take it out on you.
If you'd have known it cost me my job, would that have stopped you?
To be honest, no. Not really.
Good for you. I hope it cost him a fortune. Come here.
Do you mind? I can't see through my rear view mirror.
So you don't mind losing the job then?
Oh, you know how I felt about that place. I was on the point of packing it in anyway.
So what about the money?
Oh, that's the good thing about working all hours. You haven't got the time nor the energy to spend your wages.
So you're okay for a while then?
Yeah, should have enough to last me while I take a trip up the M1 and scout out the lie of the land.
Lie of land? What land?
I'm going up north. Sheffield, to be precise, so I thought I may as well go now and get used to the place before September, start of the first term.
Sarah, what are you talking about?
I'm going to college in Sheffield to study for my degree.
Well, you never said anything.
You knew I was changing colleges, Tucker.
Yeah, but you never mentioned anything about Sheffield, did you?
Oh, that's just me, superstitious. I thought if I mentioned it to anyone, it might bring me bad luck.
Oh, I'm just anybody, am I?
Oh, you know I never meant it like that. I was going to tell you soon.
When? As you're walking out the door with a suitcase in your hand?
I don't see what you're getting so worked up about.
Really?
Really?
Well, I don't think there's much point in talking anymore, do you? All right, pal, this is where I get out.
Tucker, right?
The beer's not that bad, is it?
Watson, he's disgusting.
I'm telling them about Julie Crown.
Have I missed something then?
Not half. Bandy as they come. Leg's got a piece of Queen Anne furniture. But what a robust bit of cuddle.
Welcome back, Tom. I missed your subtle little observations about women.
They love me. Yeah, but wait till you hear this. Tell him, Al.
Just give it a rest, eh, Tom?
Al's only gonna join Maggie's army.
Thought we were all part of that.
No, the real army. It's this scheme they got to take kids off the dole and make men of them in the forces.
I was only inquiring.
You got all the pamphlets.
I don't understand you, Al. I mean, you make this big thing about trying to keep your dignity while you're out of work. And yet you're quite prepared to be shoved around with some jerk in a flat hat who do nothing but bawl abuse at you all day and make you jump when he says jump.
It's not that bad.
Ain't it? Here, you ask Junior about conscription. Go on.
I'm not that ancient. Mind you, I am old enough to know that all that drilling, shouting and marching up and down is designed for one thing, to make your brain seize up. So that when those rockets and mortars start flying, you don't do the sensible thing and have it away on your toes. Cannon fodder. That's all they've ever wanted from the likes of you and me. Mindless fodder.
They're recruiting the right people then, aren't they?
Yeah? Would you speak for yourself, man?
I'm speaking for all of us. 2 blokes have had a go at me today. One said as far as proper jobs go, people like us don't exist. The other said that all we ever do is sit round and talk about life. And they're both right.
Ah, cobblers.
Is it? And what have you got? A few hours a week modelling at the art college and a so-called delivery service using a van that should have been condemned years ago.
Easy, Tucker.
I'm not just having a go at him. None of us are any better. We've all been piddling about for months doing jobs on the side that give us no identity and a few bob in our hand as long as we keep our heads down and mind our P's and Q's. And you talk about the army keeping people in line.
Yeah, well, that's different.
You think so? I listen to talk out of you lot night after night about what a rip-off it all is and how something ought to be done about it. Yet, bang on time, every fortnight, you all turn out on parade at the Dole office and sign on the dotted line. If that's not being well-drilled, I don't know what is.
Now, be fair, Tucker. What else could we do, eh?
It's up to you. But I'm sick of being ripped off, and I intend to stop the talking and take some action.
Oh, yeah, what's that? A quick march down to the Army Recruitment Office to enlist.
Who knows? I'll tell you one thing, though. Wouldn't it be a new experience to be actually wanted by someone? Now, wouldn't that be nice? I was a bit hard on Junior early on, wasn't
Just a bit.
I don't know what's happening to me. A couple of weeks ago, I stopped past walking in front of some door-to-door salesman down the steps. If it happened now, I'd probably take hold of an arm and leg and help him do it. I ain't joking. I never used to understand what made him tick. You know, what made him react so violently to everything.
And now you do.
Every day that goes by, more and more knotting up. It's getting on top of me, Al. If I don't do something soon, I'm going to end up doing something and injury.
Sounds like you'd be ideal for the forces.
Do me a favour, I'm not that far gone.
So what is this positive action you've been talking about?
Well, as it happens, I have applied to join up.
Who is?
Look, nothing's definite yet, so you've got to keep this to yourself.
Yeah, now what is it?
Look, wait till we get outside. I've been camping under the letterbox for the past few days. They've got to let me know one way or the other soon. You're the only one that knows, though, so don't say nothing. What about you, then? Is it going to be Private Humphreys?
Nah, I'm too old for that scheme.
18? Too old? Still, maybe it's just as well.
It's just that sometimes I feel so alone. The thought of having someone organise my life, tell me what to do, where to go, look after me, just seems so comforting.
I suppose it is a sort of family, the army. I couldn't see you fitting in, though. I mean, be fair, Al. I'm not saying that you and your old man didn't, you know, love one another. But you're never too keen on him telling you what to do.
Yeah, we did argue a bit, as I remember.
A bit? And poor old Uncle Vic ain't getting on much better.
Yeah, you're right. I wouldn't last 5 minutes with someone barking orders at me.
You just have to settle for being a rock star.
After the other night? Are you kidding?
Put it this way, it can't get much worse.
I ain't chancing it.
Was a bit of a shambles, wasn't it? It's a good job Uncle Vic left before the fight started, or we'd never have heard the last of it at work.
Work? You've been working with Vic?
Sort of.
Why didn't you tell me?
I thought you knew.
No, you didn't. You've been doing your best to keep me away from that building site. He's working on the lump, isn't he? Labouring.
Al, before you start flying off, he's all right, Vic. Once you get to know him, he's a good bloke.
I wouldn't know. I've never worked with him. I'm only having to live with him.
What is it with you? You tell me you're lonely, yet you can't wait to get him out of the house.
Well, maybe that's because he's intruding. I don't need him trying to run my life.
Well, maybe he needs you. I reckon Vic's a bit lonely and all, you know.
Tough.
Al, go easy on him, eh?
Go easy on him.
Oh, you're frightening the life out of me. What are you doing at this time of night?
I couldn't face going home.
Too full of memories, eh?
Too full of Uncle Vic.
Looks like my lot are all asleep. Do you fancy creeping in for a cup of coffee?
Yeah, why not?
You'll have to be quiet, though. If my old lady wakes up, it's going to be at least an hour. What time do you come, Dave?
I can get that home, Tom. I'll give it a miss, eh?
Yeah. Looks like I'll have to and all. She's only locked me out.
You sure?
You don't want to go back to your place, and I can't get in mine. Creamies?
Alan? Right, this has gone far enough. I think it's time for some explanations.
So do I. Do you want to start?
Me?
When you've got a trade behind you, son, people listen to you. They respect you. You'll never want for a job. Remember? So why is a noble brickie working as a navvy?
Dad, there's no shame in labouring.
I never said there was. But you kept quiet enough about it while you've been going on at me about not being qualified for anything.
No, it was for your own good.
Lying to me. Pretending you're something you're not.
I was just frightened you wouldn't listen to me if you knew.
And who says I was listening in the first place?
Listen, I know you think I've been trying to take your dad's place, and I can understand your resentment.
Oh, it was just the same with him.
What do you mean?
Well, I used to try to explain things to him about how I felt about things. But no matter how carefully I put it, it always seemed as if I'd been saying something completely different. He never understood. Always twisted it round to the way he saw things.
Well, yeah. Your dad and me, we're a bit alike in that respect.
You're telling me?
We've been around a few more years than you have. He wasn't trying to say he knew everything. And neither am I. I mean, far from it. Look at me. But you can learn from what we've told you. Learn from our mistakes.
No, thanks.
You see? You won't listen.
I won't listen. It's you who won't listen. I don't want to learn from your mistakes. I want to get out there, get stuck in, take what's coming to me and learn from my own mistakes.
Okay.
Hooray, I finally made contact. Look, he was my dad and he only did what he thought was right. To tell you the truth, I'd do anything to have him back here nagging me again.
Yeah. I know, son.
But that don't give you the right to come in here and try to take over. It's my life and you can't tell me how to live it. We're different people.
Are we? What's the big difference apart from a few years?
But that is the difference. You feel guilty about being out of work. My dad would have felt the same.
And how do you feel?
Angry.
But where'd you get your self-respect if you stay idle all your life?
By not accepting the sort of conditions that you're working under.
Keeping you awake?
I hadn't got to bed, actually. Wondered why I was on. Thought you'd gone to work.
No. Decided not to. I reckon I'm worth a bit more than that, don't you? You see, Alan, I do listen.
What are you doing?
I'm collecting up my things. I'm moving out.
What, today?
Yeah, well, I said I'd go, and I thought you was ready to be on your own.
And you think I am?
Well, it seemed pretty clear when we was talking earlier on. Anyway, it's about time I left. I looked in at my flat the other day. I've left a bit of cheese in the fridge. It's covered in fungus. Looked like a cauliflower. I didn't realise I'd been here that long.
I did.
Yeah. Look, son, I know I've been hard on you. But like your dad, I did what I thought was in your best interests.
Yeah.
So, if you ever need anyone or you get a bit short of money, well, you know where I am.
Look, I don't want to sound nasty, but I can't stop.
It's beyond even your capabilities, Tucker. Don't need a mechanic, he needs a priest.
Last rites.
Afraid so. The old beauty's finally set up a spirit of the great scrapyard in the sky. Karma, man.
Very poetic, Junior. That does leave you with one very earthly problem.
What's that?
The removal of the corpse.
Oh, terrific.
Al! Al, look! Waved me on the map when I got in an interview, you little beauty! Look, I can't stop. I'll speak to you later.
The claims officer? How many more boobs am I going to be shunting around today?
Mr. Watson, if you won't divulge the name of your former employer, how can we make the necessary inquiries?
But I keep telling you, it weren't a proper job. I was just helping someone out.
Were you paid?
No, it was a favour.
If you weren't receiving a wage, why did you sign off?
Alan? Al! Alan!
Oh, hello, Tom. I see you've joined the club again.
Yeah, what a performance that was and all. But listen, I've just seen Tucker.
Yeah, I think I did not so long ago.
Oh, look, listen, will ya? Do you know what he said last night about what a great life in uniform?
That wasn't what he said.
No, not in so many words, but that's what he meant. You won't laugh when I tell you where I saw him. Going into the local nick with a dirty great handful of documents.
So?
So, it's obvious he's joining up, right? And not with the army or the air force, but the police. Tucker's gonna be a copper.